What if the love and hip-hop universe's apparent tranquility before the storm was a myth? What if there was a secret that was subtly ruining everything below those perfect posts and red carpet smiles? That's just what people were thinking when Tasha K revealed something startling and unexpected. According to the most recent widely reported rumor, Jasmine, yes, the same Jasmine who had attempted to cut ties with Mendeecees' social circle is Yandy, has been openly showcasing their unbreakable relationship on social media as he is expecting his child. Let's be clear that these are only online statements before passing judgment. However, everyone has the same question because of the time, the mysterious posts, and the unexpected tension between Yandy and Mendeecees. What actually occurs behind closed doors? Tasha K's statement sparked more than just rumors. This rumor has become one of the most explosive controversies in recent love and hip-hop history, thanks to voice notes, screenshots, and tearful live sessions. Hold on tight because we'll go into great detail about the startling claims, the emotional impact, and the intricate triangle that is appending reality TV today. Social media became silent the night Tasha K went live, as if everyone was waiting to see what she would say next. When she finally uttered the words, the chat group erupted. Jasmine, Mendeecees' infant. She began by claiming she had some tea and subtly teased her audience with her trademark smile. It's so hot that it could crash the internet. Even the most devoted admirers who had witnessed every development in hip-hop and romantic history were unable to comprehend this kind of discovery. In the flood of comments, people were identifying Yandy, making references to earlier films, and attempting to make connections between seemingly unrelated things. According to reports, Jasmine's close buddy texted her everything. Tasha claims that even though she didn't provide names, she gave enough clues to let everyone know that something significant was happening behind the scenes. She claimed that Mendeecees and Jasmine had been in contact for months and had quietly reconnected after meeting at an event in Atlanta. There was merely amusing banter at first. However, after a few heated late-night discussions, supporters began to doubt the veracity of reports that things had become worse. When Yandy, who is renowned for maintaining her composure, wrote on her Instagram story, "The real always comes to light. Even when the fake tries to hide, people immediately connect the dots." Some urged her to keep her cool, while others in the comment sections went crazy, accusing Mendeecees' unusually reserved online behavior, such as skipping interviews and avoiding topics he would typically laugh about, didn't help either. As the rumors spread, fans started going through old footage, pointing out any instances in which Jasmine's name was mentioned. They acted out earlier episodes, highlighting the chemistry that perhaps no one had seen before. Videos of the days that followed, Jasmine's social media profiles became private, which only served to fan the flames. While some bloggers speculated that she was trying to avoid attention, others suggested that she was trying to avoid questions about her alleged pregnancy. Jasmine's awkward looking away reappeared when Yandy was mentioned, and some fans said they saw something deeper in her eyes, such as regret or unresolved emotions. An admirer tweeted, "You guys can't tell me otherwise," claiming, "She's glowing like she's expecting," in response to the photographs, which were hazy screen grabs of her in a restaurant wearing a large sweatshirt. The images were not confirmed, but they were enough to fuel fan outrage. By this point, the narrative had taken on a life of its own. Her admirers showered her with praise in their comments, referring to her as the real queen and the wife who held it down. However, the couple themselves were oddly silent. There were no joint posts, no photos from their date night, no birthday tributes, and even their closest friends and family seemed far away. According to a person close to the couple, Yandy confronted Mendeecees in private out of confusion rather than anger. Apparently, she turned to the man she trusted for the truth rather than the internet. They had a difficult conversation that was filled with pauses and tears. Mendeecees acknowledged that he had spoken to Jasmine about unresolved business on a few occasions, but denied the pregnancy rumor. When she went live again 2 nights later, she claimed to have voice notes that referenced emotional messages spoken between Mendeecees and Jasmine. She said the tone alone told a story, even if she didn't play them all. Her audience believed her when they begged her to release the clips because she is known to stir things up. The next day, almost every gossip website used the term Tasha K, but she wasn't done yet. Seldom backs down when she smells scandal. Her direct response was, "Trust me, y'all will hear everything when the time is right." As more blogs joined the discussion, it became harder to ignore. Even a denial wouldn't have stopped the narrative from moving forward, but nothing was verified. No one had proof, but everyone wanted answers. Although no names were mentioned in those enigmatic posts, it was clear that loyalty doesn't mean much when temptation keeps knocking. One blogger claimed to have seen Jasmine at a clinic, while another said Mendeecees' team had been calling around trying to perform damage control. Yandy's friends began to talk casually. Yandy herself began to seem less glamorous and more reflective in her words, posting from her living room with the music off and the candles lit, saying things like, "We see your pain. Create a home. Make sure everyone within gets a key." Fans posted, "And stay strong, Queen." There were rumors that Jasmine was staying with a cousin out of town to avoid the chaos, that she was speaking with her lawyer after receiving threats online, and that more darkness was falling than anyone had anticipated. Despite all of this, Mendeecees made an effort to appear normal. "People always want to tear families apart," he said, with a smile, in a brief audio clip, but viewers could not help but note how uncomfortable he appeared. His hands were constantly twitching, his chuckle sounded forced, and his eyes hardly ever looked at the camera. One evening, Yandy was caught on camera speaking to a close friend in a parking lot, and it was clear from her body language that she wasn't shouting. She shook her head, covered her face, and paced back and forth that he was upset. Comments were flooding in, with some claiming he was mistaken and others saying he was misinterpreted. In just a few minutes, the video went viral as bloggers slowed it down and examined each movement as if it were a scene from a movie titled "When Loyalty Hurts the Most." By this point, the story was about more than simply betrayal. It was also about reputation, pain, and perplexity. Whether it was true or not, the damage was already done. Followers started picking sides, hashtags started trending, and everyone waited for someone, anybody, to speak the truth. As the days went by, the two who had built their business on loyalty and growth found themselves in the middle of a storm that made them doubt everything. Yandy stopped blogging, Jasmine didn't say anything, and Mendeecees showed up at a family gathering, but he didn't have his typical charm. Instead, he stayed in the back, dodging the cameras, and pretended to grin. Many people who once thought of them as the epitome of black love on reality TV now think that even the internet went into overdrive once more when Tasha hinted that part 2 of her exclusive was on the horizon, saying that it would shock everyone who still thinks this is a rumor. The strongest love may end when secrets start to surface. The internet went berserk after her alleged second drop, and people kept going to her website throughout the night in anticipation of the next live performance. Supporters were divided between skepticism and interest. Some claimed she was merely seeking views, while others believed she had something genuine. However, when she went live once more in front of almost 300,000 viewers, she sipped her drink and let the tension grow almost as silently before asking, "You guys thought it stopped there?" The audience became still as she went on, saying, "One person's silence speaks louder than 10 denials. This story has only just begun, sweetheart." Instead of confessing, she said, Jasmine vented to someone in Yandy's inner group. The communications showed that Jasmine felt cornered and that she had no intention of things getting this bad. One purported message stated, "I didn't plan this," according to Tasha. "I didn't even think he'd respond," supporters exclaimed, going berserk. In the meantime, pictures of an old photo of Jasmine wearing what appeared to be the same bracelet Mendeecees had been seen wearing in a previous episode started to circulate, and admirers' comments were blown up by fans who created theories that made things seem more complicated than they actually were inside their home. But things were different. The internet manages to connect the dots even when there aren't any. But in this case, the dots seem to paint a graphic of suffering. Mendeecees, on the other hand, appeared desperate to keep the peace, pleading with people to keep quiet and attempting to protect their children from the chaos. But it's difficult to keep quiet when everyone is calling your name. Even his mother could see how distracted he was. Despite this, Yandy, according to those close to her, had stopped filming for a few days and refused producers' requests to record her response, telling them that this isn't a storyline. Fans now believed there was fire and were certain the pregnancy rumor wasn't just smoke, despite Mendeecees' attempts to lighten the mood. Acquaintances who attended their most recent family gathering said the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Yandy was courteous but distant, answering questions succinctly. And no one mentioned that Yandy smiled at all. Although the image was grainy, a gossip forum claimed that Jasmine had been spotted leaving a doctor's clinic late at night with a hood over her head. Aware of the public's curiosity, bloggers competed to reveal the next exclusive, with one claiming that Jasmine was living off the grid while the couple attempted to handle things in secret. Mendeecees is not perfect, but he wouldn't treat Yandy that way, according to a close friend of his, who stated in an interview, "People love to twist things." Another said she was ready to come out but was under pressure not to, while another said she had received a message from someone using a false account telling her to keep quiet before things got ugly. No one had proof, but everyone had an opinion. The internet didn't accept it. It sounds possible, but not after all they've been through. Before the facts could alter the narrative, the harm had already been done and perception had shaped it. Tasha's claim that the story behind the water is usually darker rekindled the craze, and that she had received an enigmatic email from someone who claimed to be closer to the situation than anyone. "Thank you." She didn't give any details, but she kept implying that more was on the way. Yandy's silence began to speak for itself when she added a single black heart emoji to her story without any explanation or caption. Hip-hop and love producers reportedly contacted Mans and Yandy a week later to try to address the rumors in a future reunion special, but Mendeecees appeared conflicted. According to sources, Yandy said she wasn't going to feed gossip with more gossip. Fans debated the post's meaning as it received 1 million views in a matter of hours, with some claiming it symbolized strength and others sadness. Only Yandy knew what she truly meant. It was months before the rumors started, but fans were certain it had something to do with one of her older quotes that kept coming up. He wanted to go on record to clear his name, but his publicist cautioned him that it might be safer to remain silent. Meanwhile, Jasmine's name remained popular, and people examined her previous posts to try to decipher the hidden meanings in the captions. A vague video of Jasmine and a man who appeared to be a man riding in a car late at night was leaked to a gossip website, and within minutes, hashtags like Nandi's exposed, "No justice for Andy," and "Dr. Jasmine knows" started trending. Sometimes love doesn't die, it just waits for the right moment. Thousands of people were criticizing her, supporting her, or pleading with her to speak in her tumultuous comment section. Even some of Yandy's well-known friends made subtle remarks about the situation, saying things like "Not everything that glitters is loyal" and "The devil works hard, but clout works harder." Supporters were certain it was him based on his build, voice, and chain. Music. The video was only 10 seconds long, but it was enough to create a significant stir on the internet. As the video gathered traction, Mans finally broke his silence, but he did so with a live stream rather than a statement. However, no proof was uncovered, and everyone became an online detective as tech-savvy users zoomed in, slowed it down, and added filters. "You guys need to quit. I don't accept lying," he continued, looking serious. He didn't address Tasha K directly, didn't identify Jasmine, and didn't confirm or reject the pregnancy rumors. "Me and my family are good," he stated. Supporters were divided, with some praising his poise and others calling it evasion. Yandy, on the other hand, was neither seen nor heard from during his live performance. Fans flooded her website with comments asking if she trusted him, but she received no response. Her voice was combative rather than comforting. In an enigmatic tweet the following morning, Tasha wrote, "The story y'all think you know is missing one major piece," as everyone held their breath for the next explosion while saying, "Stay tuned." Producers reportedly debated how to handle the growing chaos behind the scenes, with some saying it was too personal and others wanting to use it as a story point for the next season. But they were certain this issue had become uncontrollable. Everyone began speculating about what that one significant piece might be as soon as Tasha's tweet went viral. Some believed Jasmine had made a covert confession, while others suspected she had DNA results. The tension was intolerable, and gossip blogs turned the situation into a countdown by hinting that something more significant than the initial revelation was about to happen. When Tasha returned to the air 3 nights later, her voice sounded colder and almost serious. Instead of beginning with jokes or laughter, she said that the truth always finds a way out, even when people try to bury it. Even people who weren't usually interested in celebrity drama were now paying attention, curious to see what would happen next. Felt emotionally exhausted and constrained by the attention, and the family member confirmed that Jasmine had informed them about a complex situation involving Mendeecees. The live conversation was inundated with comments, with some viewers begging for more evidence, while others were positive that this was the confirmation they had been waiting for. After that, Tasha continued to hide her identity and refrain from sharing screenshots, but her description alone sent followers into a frenzy. Yandy's world was in ruins back in Atlanta, and insiders said she had started to trust only a few close friends. One of them claimed that after hearing Tasha's latest accusations, "Yandy, I'm tired of being strong for everyone," she wailed. She also reportedly started spending more time alone, journaling and praying in an effort to discern what was real and what was just noise. While Mendeecees appeared determined to move as if nothing were wrong, many who saw him meet fans, grin and take pictures at a charity event described his smile as empty and his eyes had lost their usual warmth. At one point, someone shouted from the audience, "Is it true?" His expression reportedly froze for a moment before he turned to leave. The video was captured on a phone and immediately went viral on social media. People slowed it down, rewatched it frame by frame, and examined every moment as if it were a movie. Despite disagreements over everything, from the fact that he appeared guilty to the fact that he was simply tired of people believing what they want, I owe no one my truth. Within minutes, Jasmine's name was trending once more. Lies. Everyone had something to say. Jasmine finally made her voice heard, though it was only through a 12-word post about her experience rather than a declaration, but it captured the entire scandal. In a matter of hours, the post vanished, but screenshots had already gone viral on the internet. Some saw it as confirmation, while others saw it as rejection. The fact that no one knew Jasmine's true goals only increased the level of obsession. Tasha once said that Jasmine's post was a reaction to her own life. She said that she had been contacted by someone from Mendeecees' camp asking her to tone it down, and that there was more she hadn't revealed out of respect. The couple's friends allegedly attempted to intervene by setting up a secret meeting between Yandy and Mendeecees. That statement alone caused a whole new storm, with fans wondering whether Tasha was being silenced or just starting more drama. However, it wasn't simple.